What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to StreamCast, a show where we watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going good. That's the True Gamer intro. That's our gaming podcast, Over in Conversations, the YouTube channel.
You should go check that out.
Let's just...
Oh god, the microphone. Everything's already going to hell. Much like this show. Get it, Mephisto everywhere, guys.
I see what you did. I just want to come out and say, from the very beginning, I've been saying Mephisto's the bad guy. Ains is Agatha, whatever her name is. Vision is a person that's got a hologram on him.
Right.
I've been saying all these things, and so far they've been right.
You have been saying all these things, and I'm the one that's been
wrong,
stupidly
and I've been educated.
saying, "Oh, Hydra's the one that's doing everything. Look all this." Idiots love you. Guys, I just want to say I called it off. First of all, let's just say we're talking about episode 7 of the WandaVision. You guys have been joining us all for the past 3 episodes. Yeah. You can join us for the next 2 episodes by subscribing to this channel so you get each and every video. Right. It's really awesome. Also, go and check out our links in the description. We've got a lot of cool stuff. We'll get more to that in a second. I called it Mother Truckers. A number of things I've called. Some stuff is still pending independent investigation.
Wait for the big Hydra bill, that's what I'm saying, okay?
So I did say fairly early on I was suspicious of Ains.
You did.
Ains, which by the way, Hamid said that he was in a lesson and he was talking with his friends and he said Ains instead of Agnes, and now he blames us for making him look like an idiot.
As you guys may know, obviously this is the flagship show on the Four Pillars Network. Yeah. But we are also, our own YouTubers. We have our own YouTube channel, youtube.com/Combroplations, and our own Discord where, because you're watching these shows with us, you write into us. But Hamid is one of our overlap guys.
Yeah.
And he's been watching the show, obviously. And we call, Agnes? Ains. And he, unironically, we both got tweeted just out of nowhere, "I fucking hate you guys." I said Ains. And everybody looked at me like I was an absolute retard. And all I said back was, "Yeah, you're welcome." And I absolutely love that we're entertaining, but also ruining people's lives.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Ruining their lives as well. You're welcome there, Hamid, and you're welcome everyone else who we infected.
I just love the idea that the one guy with friends in our community now doesn't have friends.
Exactly.
One of us.
So I was suspicious of Agnes right from the get-go. Yeah. And even though last episode they did kind of throw us off with the Vision doing the thing with her head, I was like, I don't know. That's
you did say that. You did say that.
Yeah, I was like, what? I get what they do.
I was like, okay, we just saw Vision do the thing.
Yeah,
that 100% rules out Agnes because we've just been shown it, right? In fairness, it was like a red herring. It was a very
misdirection.
It wasn't even misdirection. She lied to us.
Yeah, she did.
Fair enough to me to getting that wrong, but
there was
an interesting episode.
The Pietro stuff as well.
Yeah.
Now that's one of the ones that's pending investigation.
Yeah.
I said that possibly he's not real. Agnes was the reason for him being there, but is he real?
Yeah, I think
we don't know yet.
Let me just clear this up. I have a track record of being 100% spot on with these things. I think the theory that he's been grabbed from the other alternate universe and just put in because there's no Pietro in this universe probably fits. Could be because there is also a reference to... Make your dumbest idea because that'll be it.
I think he's not real. I think the likeness... at first I thought, no, surely they didn't bring Pietro all the way from the X-Men movies to come along to just make a random cameo to make people happy. Right. But now I think that's what they did. Cameo? I think it's a cameo because they were like, this is a name that we know and it'd be really cool to get him back and it'd be kind of fun and it'll get people excited. Now that's what I think is happening, unfortunately.
Okay. I hate that, but okay.
It is... I'm sure once it's all done, we'll look back and we'll be like, okay, that was funny, that was quite cool and whatnot. But right here and now, we're like, oh my God, we're going to see Magneto next. That's what we're going to see. And that's not happening.
Well, we also suspected in this episode we'd get a big name drop person. We'll get to it when we get started. Before we can get any further into it, we are obviously powered by the incredible Superheroes. Over on patreon.com/conversations. Who do we have to thank?
I do have it here, but it's behind my notes. Here we go.
I'm so glad I just chose that random point to throw it in.
I love it.
You up.
It keeps me on my toes. We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsuck, Carol of Rivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H. Barts 12, the Midget Aloy from Smallville Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself Albus Scory, Super Sus Ben Fryer, and the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunling. Thank you, bro, so much for keeping the lights, the mics on, and the streaming services going here at StreamCast and all the stuff over in Compilations and stuff like that.
All the
check out.
stuff that you literally make possible.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. I thought you were going to manage that whole thing on one breath. I was like, if he passes out and commits to the bit, I'll respect it. That was the first time I was going to respect you in our like decade-long friendship.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
Our work acquaintanceship.
I was close to passing out. That's the only reason why I took the breath. Otherwise, it'd have just been like.
I think it would have been funny
for the views.
Think of that,
for the
that
views.
Sweet AdSense.
Anyway, bro.
Yeah.
Let's get talking a little bit about WandaVision episode 7.
Yeah.
Breaking the fourth wall.
So.
Yes.
Modern Family.
Yes.
I actually, unironically, quite enjoy a lot. A lot.
Oh my god! Because we have never spoken about this before. I love Modern Family. Yes.
Because why would we ever bring up sitcom shows? Like
No.
maybe Friends once in a while because it's like the show.
Yeah.
But you never bring up the other ones, or maybe Big Bang Theory. Something
Yeah.
like that. But I'm glad you like it.
And this is all like, it's all about like suburban sort of like middle-aged families and stuff like that. Nothing to do with what we do. And,
Favorite characters for me, I think it's Claire.
Oh yes,
being
Claire definitely out
neurotic,
there.
and I forget the husband's name, but them two.
Yeah.
He's such a Jerry. You know, Rick and Morty. He's a Jerry.
Yeah, he is.
And the granddad, and Eva. What's her name?
Not Eva Longoria.
Not Eva Longoria, but yeah, you know the one. How do I not know her
The
name?
Colombians.
I love that. Everything.
Sofia Vergara.
Sofia Vergara. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know why. I just gravitate to her. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. Yeah. I actually prefer the granddad guy, the character whose name I forget. The guy that played Al.
He's
from,
solid.
Did you ever watch that? It was like, fuck, what was that? What was that show called?
Maybe we should talk about WandaVision. Great.
Yeah, that's right. Tangents. By the way, boys, you subscribe for Tangents. If you wanted content that sticks to you, you're in wrong.
I was sucked into it just as much as you, by the way. So
Ow,
that was
what was that called?
That was kind of
Married
what
with
this
Children.
episode. Oh, here we go.
That's it. It's a Married with Children podcast now, boys. It's not on streaming services anywhere, but
what is WandaVision? There we go.
Family.
That's what this episode was kind of trying to emulate here.
You get those fourth wall breaks.
Exactly.
Like what do you call interviews? Like the
yes. Yeah. Did you find it worked well in this episode though?
Really well, I thought.
Really?
I really liked it. In particular, I loved Vision's one. Mm-hmm. Vision has these moments where like he's scratching his head, but it's part of like the vibranium, but it's him, right? As far as he's concerned, it's his body. But something about that made him way more human to me.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's a bit here where he gets scared by the so you know the S.W.O.R.D agent that gets turned into the muscle guy, and he's saying, "Oh, you're one of the clowns."
Yes.
He gets scared when he jumps to the window, and I'm like, that's such a human thing. Like Vision's very human in this.
He's literally a vibranium man. In fact, there's even a line where Wanda says their dad's made of vibranium. They literally inherited tough skin or thick skin or something like that. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a really humanizing episode for Vision.
I like the fourth wall break, and I think maybe more in Modern Family because it's more comedy based.
Yeah.
This one, it's one episode, and they're only really using it for half of the episode. The rest of it's like setting up the rest of the stuff.
It's weird because as much as this is a Marvel show, it also feels to me like it's a love letter to sitcoms. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so for that, I really appreciated it. The fact that I know it's not coming back in the next episode, it's like they're ticking the list of like, this one they do this one they do this one it's fourth wall breaks. So I appreciated it. I did enjoy it because it's not coming back.
Yeah.
And I also liked how for once Wanda was just a normal person. Yeah. Where like she now knows like she's not keeping up the act. But like, she's overwhelmed. She needs a me day. She's taking a personal day.
Yeah, so
from her own universe.
She even like pitches it as like I've put myself on punishment.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna do nothing, and it's like,
but for
I don't know if you've ever been punished before.
So she's kind of like playing the Claire character for a neurotic person like that. Yeah. That is punishing, not being able to control everything.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So she starts off, she's looking into the camera and she says, "We've all been there, right? Letting our fear and anger get the better of us. intentionally expanding the walls of our false world we created. We've all been there.
Yeah, everybody.
All the time, right?
I can relate. You can relate.
You can relate to that right there.
Yeah.
And the kid, she's laying in bed and whatnot. She sees herself like wearing last night's Halloween costume,
Yes.
which, damn.
Agreed.
And she covers herself back up just to be like, I just can't take it anymore. And the kids come running up. They're like, Mom, some really weird stuff's happening to our games console.
Yeah, our game keeps changing or something like that.
They're like on a controller, then suddenly there's a joystick, then suddenly it turns into Uno cards.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even know what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening. And then she says, she goes, I'm punishing myself by taking the day off. She's like, a day all to myself.
But it's not just the game that's changing.
Yes.
Everything, like she goes and to make cereal.
Yes.
By the way, I love this scene where she's making the cereal. The milk changes from like a bottle to a carton, then back to the bottle, and she sniffs the milk. Still good. It's
like,
fine.
did the milk change?
Yeah. It's just cheese.
Still
it's just
good.
a lump of cheddar.
But did you notice anything about the milk?
No, I've noticed like the missing child on the.
Yes. So there's a missing child on the milk carton itself. I tried to pause it to try and see what it is.
I did happen to pause it just while I was making my notes.
Yes.
And didn't see anything.
It's totally not. There's nothing visible there. I even recorded it on my phone so I could scrub through it slowly. It's not visible. It's like it starts out of focus. It's strange though that they would put that in right in your sight.
I wonder if it's not like that's a typical thing that I know from movies anyway, that there's like always the missing kid on the milk carton.
True.
So I maybe it's just normal.
There is one thing that happens later.
Yeah.
Keep a pin in this. Keep it in your mind, guys, and I'll explain it later.
Yeah,
I'm going to explain a little bit about Agatha and stuff like that.
Okay.
And some people might not want to know about this, so I'm going to put like a block. Okay, don't listen right now, and then we'll take it off the screen, then we'll come back and
we'll
whatnot.
put a timestamp to skip to this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It might tie into that possibly.
Yeah.
Anyway, missing kid, we don't get to see it, and then she goes over into the front room and she starts to like eat her cereal and whatnot. And things start to like
like
change
the
around
changes,
her.
or like a plant turns into a tree.
Yeah,
It's weird.
she manages to get some of those things back, and she's like, "What the fuck's going on?" It's like, I don't know what's going on here, and I don't know why I can't control any of it. You can tell that she's stretching herself a bit too thin.
It does seem that way, yeah.
Maybe the expanding of the force world that she's made, now it's like she has to control so much more stuff, and she's just really not
She's
able
got
to
too
do it.
much going on. Like she's kind of unraveling a bit, and then in a visual way, like her world is unraveling. It's coming apart. It doesn't know which time frame it's supposed to be. Are they in the first house or the last one?
Yeah.
So it kind of fits. We get the idea that the image that she was in control is starting to fade.
Yeah.
Whether that's because she never really was in control or because she stretched too thin, we're not sure yet.
Yeah. So at this point, we get the intro card of all like the Wanda, and then WandaVision. Did you notice anything interesting in the title screen?
No.
So two things of interesting.
Yeah.
One, there is a number plate that shows in one of the shots where it's flicking over, and it's got a date at the top of the number plate, and it's the 28th of December 1922. Stan Lee's birthday.
Okay.
So that's his Stan Lee cameo right there. Very cool right there. But there's one other flash that doesn't say Wanda.
Yeah.
Well, it does say it a little bit. It says in magazine clippings, "I know what you were doing, Wanda."
Oh, I didn't.
Very ominous.
I was wondering if this wasn't a thing of like, did you know the song is called "Wanda, Stop Making Your Own Alternate Universe" because people are dying by the
classic
Revengers or something?
Right. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, like because I did think there was probably like the songs they were picking were probably like there was a meaning behind them, but I haven't ever looked into it.
I've heard. I think I saw an article in passing, but I think I might have I closed my phone and never got back to it. I couldn't find it. Someone did say that there was something to do with the music that someone. I didn't look too much into it, so I can't confirm. Maybe a super fan out there can tell us whether there is something going on there.
I want to quickly address one thing, because you mentioned articles, and it totally relates this time, I swear. I saw an article, I think it was on Twitter, because we obviously are on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was like, Darcy will be the focus or like a main character in the next episode. And there was this whole long article of clickbait to get you to read about how they knew Darcy was... She's a named character that's suddenly in the Hex. Is anyone surprised that the only other named character who was outside and is now inside is going to be a focal point for the next episode? It was ridiculous. I cannot stand these view whores. Unlike us, we bring actual content.
No.
Make sure you press the like button. If you're not subscribed, you want to subscribe, head up to youtube.com/conversation.
The shills.
$69 tier on Patreon, you know the thing.
Do you know what when someone does an article like that where they're like, oh, she's going to be the focus next day? Do you know what it reminds me of? It's that gif of Jason Segel where he's like got his coffee and his newspaper and he's like, what? No way.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, so that's the intro title done. We cut to the new S.W.O.R.D base, which is further out now that it's expanded. Yeah. And Douchey McDouche survived. He didn't get swallowed by the hex.
He did. Do you know, I absolutely hated this scene because they make him sound like he talks like he's the reasonable guy. He's like, make sure you do the thing because last night we lost.
Yeah.
Like, who the frick do you think you are? You lost. You lost. You got your entire base destroyed because you tried something. Who knows? But also, you're not the good guy. Yeah. You might not be the bad guy.
Yeah.
But you're not the good. You're not even one of the good guys. You're the douchebag.
Don't even try and play it like you are.
Go on.
He says at this one point where she's like, there's a random other agent there. He's like, she stopped. Thank God luckily she pumped the brakes. And he's like, lucky? It's like, yeah, lucky. What would you have done otherwise?
He's like, I sure
yes,
feel
lucky.
Yes. Literally, yes.
Yes.
You lucked out. I hate this guy so much.
So much.
But it's worse because you can't tell why you... Like, do you hate him because he's incompetent? Do you hate him because he's a douchebag? Do you hate him because he's an evil douchebag? Do you hate him because he's just a good guy trying to do the right thing, but he doesn't know? No.
But we find out a little bit later why he's such a cunt.
We do.
Sorry, I used the hard C word right there. I don't like to do that.
As long as you make sure you say frick.
As long as I make sure I say frick, then it's fine. That word needs to be censored.
Language barriers here.
Exactly. They say, what's happened to the broadcast? The broadcast has been cut off. And Douchey McDouche says, all right, we're launching an attack today, okay? We can't wait any longer. We need to do this. We cut to Vision, and Vision is waking up, and he's surrounded by a circus. Yeah. Just a bunch of clowns and all these acts and stuff like that.
What we saw the first S.W.O.R.D base get turned into. Yeah.
Exactly. And he is just like... frick is going on here?
He's Vision.
Exactly.
He's not like Halloween.
Suit.
Yeah, he's Vision.
Yeah.
The Vision.
And don't say that. And the douchebag S.W.O.R.D agent guy comes up, the guy that I was talking about, and he's like, "Hey, are you the new clown they hired?"
Makeup.
I was like, "At least you're in makeup. All right, go over there because we're waiting for you." And he's like,
you need to go to the escape artist."
Yes.
Yeah, you two are doing an act together or something like that. Yeah.
And Darcy's just over to the left, I should say, and she's like all locked up in her chains because she was handcuffed to the truck.
Exactly.
And that's how it changed and whatnot. And Darcy sees it, and Vision's like, don't you remember me? Yeah, we had like an unspoken connection.
Yeah, we locked eyes last night. And,
He's like, don't think so. And she like breaks out of her chains because it's an escapist artist and whatnot. It's not a real thing. And I think Vision distracts her and then snaps her out of the whole trance and whatnot. And Darcy's immediately like, whoa. I know I wanted to be on this show as a character, but damn, that sucked and whatnot.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I like Darcy, man.
She's really cool, isn't she?
She's good.
Basically, he breaks it down for her. He's like, I've got questions. She's like, I've got answers for you. Don't worry about it. Let's jack that thing over there, that vehicle over there, whatever it is, and let's get out of here and I'll explain everything on the way. And that's where he like jumps in, and then that S.W.O.R.D agent guy tries to jump out and it scares the crap out of him, and he's like, get the hell out of here.
It's interesting because they're still following like sitcom rules. He's Vision. He can just pick her up and fly where they need to go in a fraction of the time. None of these impediments that could possibly get in the way. But that's not how it works because he is still in a sitcom and he needs like sitcom answers.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny watching this. It's also interesting that the episode isn't being aired.
Yes, that is very interesting.
But they're still doing an episode. Mm-hmm. Although if you're gonna,
was it airing since she did the whole magic barrier thing?
I think once she pushed the hex out, no more transmissions.
Yeah,
but I think that's Ains's idea, not hers.
Good old Ains. I mean, Ains, we don't know what are you talking about? She's just an ordinary character in this whole thing.
That's right. I misspoke. I don't mean Ains.
Okay. Well, strange. Sorry. Whatever. Don't worry about it, bro. It happens to the best of us.
Sorry, I meant Mephisto.
That's it. Mephisto.
Who's
that's
powering
the one.
This whole thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So then we cut back to the kids, and they're asking about Pietro, and Wanda's like,
"This is kind of creepy." They say, I wrote this down. last night Uncle P said that thing about re-killing Dad, and she goes, "He's don't listen to anything he says. He's not even your uncle." And they're like,
Yes.
"What? Then who is he?"
And that
It's kind of creepy, man.
is another little like nudge to my theory that he's not really there.
So maybe I think if it's not Pietro, if it's not like the X-Men Days of Future Past Pietro, then it might be like one of Ains's, like, I don't know, some demon or something that's made to look like a Pietro.
Yeah.
But like that's not her Pietro. So
Yeah.
it could be
That's what she's trying to say,
X-Men,
right?
but it's not even like your uncle, your real uncle. It's like it is a Pietro, but it's not like the real Pietro.
Yeah.
It's hard to know, but obviously, like as things are panning out, you are getting more right. So
Let me just count my wins, boys. Let me just count them. All right, here we
I'll
go.
be glad, because you know what? I cannot wait for you to get that Leviathan accent and chop your foot off.
For those of you guys that don't know, I've been seeing a couple of actual Leviathan axes on Etsy, and I'm this close to buying it.
Just want to say, I mean, I know I started that tangent, but you fell for it, and now I get to call you out for staying on track. Let's talk about a little thing.
That's fair. That's fair right there. Anyway, so Wanda, she looks like she's barely holding it
She's
together.
proper stressing,
She's
isn't it?
proper stressed out. And guess who walks in at the perfect time?
The savior, basically the number 3 character in the show.
Yeah, I mean, obviously after Monica and then after
Monica,
Wanda.
Wanda,
Exactly.
Ames, the you can rely on me best friend
Exactly.
from next door. Just knocks, and Wanda flicks open the door.
Magic's the door open. Ames walks in, and she walks in, she sees that Wanda's falling apart.
Yeah.
And she even says in like one of those Modern Family style interviews, she's like, "Thank God I came just in time. She was about 2 split ends away from losing her head." Woohoo!
Yeah, it's like cut to the interview, cut back. Yeah, it's very good.
And she does like a look into the camera as well. She's like,
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Anyway, she's like, "Oh, how about if I take the kids off your hands for a little bit, and then you can, worry, you can have the day to yourself."
I'll babysit. You have your me day.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, it'll all be good.
And she jumps at the opportunity. She's like, "Yeah, okay."
I mean,
okay.
Ames has been trustworthy for like the last 45 years.
She's great.
You know, she's been with them since the 50s.
Exactly.
So
exactly, that's a good point right there. I want that to go on record. Ains she's done nothing wrong so far.
Solid.
And she goes to the kids. She's like, "Don't worry about your kids. I won't bite." And then it cuts to the Modern Family things. I actually did bite a kid once. I was like, "Oh my god, okay, that's perfect Modern Family."
That's absolutely Modern Family. It's perfect. Ains delivers it brilliantly, and in particular the way she dressed now. I mentioned, I think like very first or second episode, like most of the women here have like big MILF energy.
Yeah,
I'm really feeling it here.
Yeah,
I'm really feeling the MILF energy here.
Definitely, they do look like they're like mums that just have their own like soccer schedule and stuff like for the kids and stuff like that. Definitely imagine. Wanda sets to relax. She turns on the TV. She pulls up her cereal, but things start to break around her again.
The wallpaper peels up.
Yeah, like
that was
it
the thing that
peels.
creeped me up the most.
So that's just strange.
Yeah.
Peels up, but then also it disappears, and you can see the beams in between, and like so strange.
It kind of looks like the house is trying to change back to one of its previous models.
Exactly.
Which answers our question: are they moving around the thing, or is the house changing? The house is changing.
Exactly. The TV set even goes like back in time as well. It turns into like an old timey TV. All kinds of things change, and she does say into like the camera, she's like, "I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine. It's fine.
I'm fine."
It's. I really appreciate, because she's actually got to do some like actual acting in this episode.
Really good stuff. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I actually really enjoyed the Marvel movies, and I think there's a surprising amount of acting that goes into them. But if, as Pietro said, you're just doing like wiggly woos and looking stressed, it's very easy to be one-dimensional. And the fact that she's doing this and delivering it so well, I really vibed with it. I really felt like Wanda just needed a personal day, guys.
Yeah.
Just needed just a few hours to relax and unwind.
God, guys, is that too much to ask?
Right.
God, here we go. We cut to Jimmy Woo and Monica, and they're in the car. They're driving along.
That's right.
And he gets the project that was sent by Darcy just before she gets sucked into the hex.
She got through the last firewall. They said, right? Project Cataract. What a weird name.
The stupid thing is that we are so dumb. Why didn't we think Cataract, the way that Vision looks when he's dead, his eyes gloss over, Of course it's cataracts. We said it was like an eye thing.
But why would we think that?
I know. Why you see, hindsight is 2020.
Why would anyone think that?
But look, we're dumb. That's the main thing.
First of all, your number one premise, we're stupid. Totally agree. 100%. We've proved that. We've got how many episodes? I just even changed my freaking off my notes. There we go. Proven. You probably saw it, right? We're dumb.
Yes.
100% proved. You can follow us until we can't even barely speak our own language. But I feel like who make it sound like Project Iron Condor. Make it cool. Make it cool.
I have to say, there's no way to prove this. I did think for a moment, I was like, Vision, when he died, his eyes go all white, which is kind of like cataracts in the eye. But I thought that was such a dumb idea that I was like, I'm never going to say it and make myself look stupid.
Like the Project Cataract, they can see through the hex, which never explained, by the way.
Yeah.
That I'm like, cool. Well, like the hex, maybe the hex is the cataract, right? Because you can't see through it. And then they're finding a way to see through it. That's Project Cataract, so they can track Vision in the thing.
But it turns out it's something else.
I freaking hate it, man.
Anyway,
it sucks. Everything about Hayward sucks.
Yes. Just douchey McDouche. That's all I know him as. Anyway, he gets the Project Cataract file from Darcy, and he's like, douchey McDouche is trying to get Vision back together so he can get Vision back online so they can flip his switch. And they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. Well, don't worry about it now. We'll take care of it. At least we know Hayward's plan and what was going on.
Just one pause.
Go on.
Do you think that makes Hayward a good guy? He's trying to like revive an Avenger with the Dragon Balls. Because I think that makes him sound 10 times more evil than before.
Yes.
He's trying to get a vibranium android with no brain up and running on like fact reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He totally evil because the thing is that it's if you was to die, for example, and let's say that you're a Superbot and you were my friend or we were the Avengers together, we were fighting.
Stretching it thin on the friend thing.
Very stretched. That's the worst, but that's the most unbelievable part of this. But if that was the case, and then someone else took your body rather than coming to me, maybe your creator, like Tony Stark was, maybe the Avengers and whatnot, then that's like, what are you up to then? You're not getting him back together to save the world. You're getting him back for your own personal gain. I think there's definitely something going on.
There is no good way to do this, right? We've all seen Wall-E.
Yes.
We know what happens, right? That's so super sad when you're like, it's not coming back.
Yeah.
But then he does. You can't trust that maybe he will come back. He'll Wall-E it. You can't. This is Hayward. Super evil. Definitely a douche. Way worse than Ains.
Yes.
Way worse than Mephisto. He's Mephisto. Confirmed. You heard it here first,
confirmed, guys. Okay, so the very next scene, we finally get to see the lab that Monica ordered from her aerospace super special
aerospace contact.
Exactly. Yeah. Who is it, guys? Is it Reed Richards?
Good theory.
Is it Beast? Hank the Beast?
Could have been Pepper Potts.
Yeah. All these amazing theories that we all had. It's Major Goodner.
She actually had a name. I didn't even pay attention.
She did.
I literally put it's some person. What do I have it here? It's just somebody from S.W.O.R.D. It's just someone. She knows.
Great.
Yeah. It does look sick though.
The thing is, I wasn't impressed. Ask your question, and then I'll say what I was going to say.
Once she gets inside of it, she takes off driving towards the thing. This space rover. Why is it a V8?
That's another thing as well.
Why isn't it electric? It runs in space.
They speak for a little bit and they're like, oh, it's like, thank you. My mother was really happy with you. She's like, it's not your mother that we was only loyal to. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Yeah. Anyway.
It's a really awkward scene. It's the worst scene for our main character, Monica Dambo.
Exactly. They pull out the rover, which as far as I'm concerned is the same rover they used in... the Martian? Exactly. Look dead exactly the same as that one.
It's basically identical, except it's like more metally.
Exactly. They've got like an exoscage on it. Yeah, exactly. And they're like, did we meet your specifications? How do I know? I asked you for a chemical composition of this thing. Is it the chemical composition? I said I wanted cadmium. I said I wanted thallium, whatever the hell. I can't see that with my naked eye. And she's like, yeah, it's perfect.
Also,
I don't even know what's going on here.
I love the idea, bearing in mind that these people aren't special.
Yes.
And even Reed Richards wouldn't be able to do this, or Tony Stark. They knocked this thing up to her specs in 24 hours and delivered it.
As a favour.
Yeah, just as like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. I knew her mum. She's very cool, so we'll bring it. It's fine.
The dumbest shit ever. And I have to say, I actually wasn't impressed by the thing.
I thought it looked good.
I was expecting some like wedge lab thing. Like, I don't know what was going. Anyway, it was a short amount of time.
Building basically.
Yeah,
that they were going to like get a bulldozer and push through. So
exactly. Anyway, Vision then snaps Darcy. Oh, I think this happens now, but we said it earlier. Snaps her out of thing, and he also does Vision acts so human. Blah blah blah. We cut back to Wanda. The house is falling apart. We did that bit as well. Sorry, we did things a little bit out of order, but things are okay.
It's fine. Consistency, accuracy, not what you're here for.
Exactly. And then we get the advert. The Nexus advert. Did you pull anything from this?
The big things that I pulled. Are that nonce from Bloodborne's probably going to be in the show because it's called the Nexus, right? And that's where you meet.
That's
the nonce.
True. That's true. Yes,
that's it.
I was gonna say go back to the Nexus. Is it gonna have the blind woman that says "touch the demon inside me" and stuff that? Yeah, she's very hot. You want to meet
10
her?
10 out of 10 would romance.
Very much so.
Don't know anything about her, but I'll do it.
So the Nexus ad.
Yeah.
It says like, are you feeling depressed? Just want to be left alone? Anchor yourself to reality with Nexus.
Yeah.
It says side effects may be feeling your feelings, confronting your truth, seizing your destiny, and more depression.
Yeah.
It mentions Doctor a lot.
Does it?
A lot.
So you think this is a hint to Doctor Strange?
I think so.
Doctor Strange.
And also it says the world doesn't revolve around you. Or does it?
Yeah, I did clock that. Yeah.
This actually is something very important. So this hints to the whole multiverse theory going around.
Does it though?
It does, because in the Marvel comics and cinematic universe, or Marvel comics, I should say, the lore, there is a nexus point in all of each universe,
right? Yeah,
right. And there is a nexus being in each one of those universes.
Okay.
Someone who anchors the whole reality, and if they were to be somehow gone, everything would just fall apart.
Right.
And that person has the power to change the reality.
And that person was Mephisto. Confirmed.
And the theory is, at least online, and what I'm thinking is that Wanda is that nexus being in this reality.
Okay.
So that's what they're trying to hint at, right?
I definitely felt while I was watching this that if I knew, because for those of you that are new and watching us and don't really know our stuff, generally whenever we've done like a topic, you'll know about it and I won't, so we get like a fresh reaction. But I will try to avoid this stuff so hard, so I haven't looked into. I could. Yeah. I've got the internet. I know how to use it. Yeah, I can throw a Google search up. I have to close all those booby things and my Monica
Dambo
stuff.
Monica Dambo.
But I've stayed away from this really hard, and I was watching that episode going, if I had spent any time looking at this lore, I would know what this freaking Nexus thing is. Obviously, like a Nexus is a point where things meet.
Converge, yeah.
Right, but like hearing the Nexus in this context doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
the only time we ever heard Nexus before this was
Bloodborne.
That as well, yeah.
Your Bloodborne streams over on Patreon. No.
Was Avengers Age of Ultron, where Tony Stark goes to the Nexus in, is it like Oslo somewhere and whatnot, where the internet meets, where he pulls out Jarvis. And I was like, is that what this reference is? Something like that? Because this is Avengers Age of Ultron. Turns out it's not. No. But this is deep lore stuff that I didn't even know until I researched. I'm unfortunately so bad that I can't stay away from this stuff. But that's what we get to do here.
You're gifted in that you have multiple times found or been spoiled. You found spoilers or been spoiled, and you manage, because you're even more retarded than me somehow, to like forget the spoilers until you watch it and go, oh yeah, that's right, that got spoiled for me, but you get to totally enjoy it because you forgot.
I actually got the Agatha thing spoiled for me with a GIF. Somebody sent it to me before I could watch it on Friday, and I saw it and I was just like, oh, it's just Ains, don't worry about it.
I haven't been.
I completely ignored it and I was like, oh!
I have not had the chance to watch WandaVision until this morning. I haven't been on Twitter or Discord until I finished it, because
there we go.
I take it really seriously. I cannot abide spoilers.
Yeah.
And I like to like come up with my own theories and see if my theory was better and all that stuff.
And
Which,
then
by the way, they haven't been.
I was gonna say, and then you come up with Hydra. Do it in your dumb boy. Hydra.
I will say I did also say it's just PTSD. Like, who
Yeah,
knows?
you did say that actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next scene, Agnes is with the kids, and Billy says he likes it with Agnes.
It's quite so. Okay, we did forget to mention at the very beginning of the show when he comes into Wanda's room and she's like under the covers trying to sleep. Because he's new to his power, it's a bit more complicated than Tommy's super speed, right? He's just fast. He's like psychic and can do psychic shit, but he's also hearing people's thoughts. And he comes to his mum, it's so loud, I don't know what's going on. He's getting overwhelmed, just like Wanda. And now he says to Ains, he goes, I like it here. It's quiet here. And then you're quiet on the inside. Very like Children of the Corn, like, what's wrong with you? I don't like Wiccan anymore.
It's very scary. It's very scary. So I had that theory about how like he can only see people who are alive or like have a soul or something like that. And I don't know what this means for her, or maybe it's because we find out later she's gifted in the way. I'm not going to say exactly what, but
because these guys definitely are watching this before they've seen the show.
You
so
haven't seen the show. Okay, that's a fair point. Right. She's a witch, so maybe she's got some sort of magic thing and whatnot.
Yeah, they name her
Agatha Harkness.
Agatha. This is so dumb.
Go on.
And probably because I'm excited to play Kingdom Hearts with you or see you play it. I wrote down Agatha Heartless.
Oh, there you go. So it's Ains and Agatha Heartless. There we go. We've completed the circle for you guys. Anyway,
God damn it.
So maybe it's something to do with that. We'll find out later. Or maybe it's something like someone doesn't have a soul, if she's maybe traded her soul for something that we don't know about.
It definitely, when we get down to her lair, she's got like the demon books, like the Necronomicon or whatever. Like, I could totally believe she's like traded her soul for this thing.
Yeah.
It could just be that she's very powerful, or like...
Sorry, doorbell.
It could be that she's maybe not so much that she's more powerful than Wanda, although she may be, but she's more like skilled. She can do more complicated stuff, and so like keeping herself guarded from like whether it's her soul or her mind or whatever, because he says like you're quiet on the inside. And so I think it's not just her soul that she is
a constant sort of defense mechanism, a bit like Magneto's helmet, except not physical.
Exactly, because she would know that there's stuff out there that can read your mind or control your stuff. So it would make sense that she'd have some kind of shields up. I'm getting into Star Trek territory here with like I don't know what else to say. But so I don't know. I like the idea that he can see anybody with a soul.
Yeah.
But then here's my question to you. What about Vision?
Yes.
But I had that theory that we're going to find out the kids have seen Vision as he really, like, dead. That's how he looks to them the whole time. So when the illusion drops, everybody's like, oh my God, it's dead Vision. And they're like, Dad.
Yeah.
What's up?
I swear to God, if that happens, and I love that theory, by the way, if that happens, I'm going to be like, forget all the times I was right, Sheps. I don't know how you would have called that, but fudge. That would be a great one. Anyway, after that, we cut to Monica, or she does say, like, don't worry, your mum's going to be great. She's super mum and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then we cut outside to Monica, preparing to go into the Hex with that truck. She gets into her, like, spacesuit outfit as if that's somehow going to...
I want to say...
Yeah.
We are so lucky as content creators that she was wearing that cap, because if she had that afro in that spacesuit... I didn't know, but apparently that's just my thing. That's my king. Is Monica Rambeau in the spacesuit with the afro.
Oh, God.
Don't ask me why.
So there was a moment afterwards when she takes off and you were just like...
I was like... I was like, wow, I didn't know this was a thing. Pee about that cat, but goddamn.
Down, simp.
I can't.
Down.
Yeah, I can't.
Down, simp.
I did guess it's awoken something in me.
Can we get a round of simps in the chat, please, over here?
Simp.
So she gets in there, prepares, and she goes, did you at all think that this was going to work?
No.
I was like...
No, this definitely doesn't work.
Are you guys all idiots? I was just looking at this. I'm like, this is never going to work.
No.
Nothing about that rover looks special enough that it's just going to blast through that thing.
That's something you send to the moon.
Yeah.
Which, in this context... is not special at all.
No.
It's a car. It's a space car.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, they get in there, and as you said, they fire up the V8 engine.
Because it's a space car.
Space, known for having air for internal combustion
Don't get me
engines.
wrong, it sounds great. Yeah. But why isn't it electric?
don't know.
It should be electric. It should just be electric. Come on.
And
This show's now ridiculous. I'm calling it there. It's too ridiculous now. It doesn't make any sense.
Suspend
Too
the-
many inconsistencies.
nah, I can't handle it. Can't handle it,
Ruined my
guys.
immersion.
So she goes full speed,
Yeah, it's
at like
ramming speed.
70 miles an hour into the hex, doosh, straight into it.
Yeah.
Doesn't go through.
No airbags.
No
Good thing she
airbags.
doesn't like snap her head off.
I mean, space, you don't need airbags.
That's right.
And also, these things are only meant to go 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. But this one's got a V8, so it's fine.
Exactly. It's the sports model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The R model.
All right. It was a trade-in. They had to get rid of the stock.
Exactly.
They got it at a really good price.
We're so fucking
Elon wasn't
weird.
using the V8 one anymore.
And they're like, she's going full speed ahead, and she almost like the tip of it is kind of
Yeah.
like going in.
She's
Wait,
just getting the tip in.
The tip in there. You go.
Yeah.
The tip is getting in there, and if you know what what it feels like, there's a bit of resistance, and one of the tip is going.
Do you normally stick it into force fields?
Yes, I do. normally.
Hell-powered force fields.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
cool.
yeah, all the
Obviously.
time.
What
I
else do you
mean,
stick into?
All 1.8 inches of it.
Well, we said the tip. You're giving it the full 1.8.
It's true. I'll give it that is 0.8, and then we'll see
There you
what
go.
happens with the
Yeah.
rest. And it's starting to go
I love
in.
how you're like almost half tip.
Basically, it's just all tip on the end. It's like, yeah, just the point
It's just the
0.02.
mushroom cap. That's all you got.
Oh god, we're so bad.
I'm so sorry. Do you know what? I'm not even sorry.
No, I
totally
bet,
enjoyed that
I
joke.
bet they're loving it.
They better be.
And she's powering it, and she's like,
Yeah.
"No, this is it's gonna give up. I can
Yeah.
feel it." So she pushes even harder.
Yeah.
Fully unleashes that V8, and they're just going even further.
Yeah.
It starts to like flip up, but then it starts to go in.
At this point, when it starts to like climb the thing,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, cool. It hasn't worked. It's gonna fall over on its back, and we'll come up with another plan. That will be a good way to do it.
Yeah.
No, it goes up, and then it kind of comes back down again, which
Yeah.
is not how that works. And then she like keeps pushing, and it pushes her out, and then it decides it's gonna suck the thing in a bit.
Yeah.
But then she's trying to get away from the pulp. She's trying to get through it.
That's the bit I didn't understand. I was like, so now it's being sucked in. Why are you trying to escape? Isn't that what you was trying to do?
Exactly.
Anyway, it goes in there, and she escapes through the escape pod.
Yeah.
She manages to get out. It gets sucked halfway and then gets kind of like ejected
Yeah,
outwards. And you can see afterwards, half of it is like a pickup truck, and half of it is still the rover.
I actually really appreciated this.
It was cool, right?
because it was like a really bad Photoshop.
Yeah.
Because at whatever point it came in, that was the sharp cutoff point of the weld,
Yeah.
and it looked awful, but perfectly awful.
But that was how it would be, right?
Right.
That's how it would be if this was to happen.
So I really did like that. I love Jimmy Woo, like, get a medevac, like, what? Just walk over there with
It's okay, mate.
like
It's
some
all right.
aspirin.
Real cool.
Jimmy, just chill. Show
Jimmy
the
cares
card.
about his partner. That's what it is.
He
right
does.
now.
Oh, do you think there's going to be a weird romance, or do you think there was like maybe the shot of a romance until the very next scene where she just walks and becomes Captain Marvel?
Basically.
By the way, a much more compelling story than the way it happens in the movie.
Yeah. The thing is that there's other theories that she might become Storm. That would be very cool.
No,
But anyway,
I
we-
have to add that to my list of fetishes now.
Yeah.
I'm so down.
But the thing is, some of her things don't seem to line up. Like those powers, what she sees, like she can see energies. I don't know if that's a storm power.
No, it's not. Storm
Exactly.
literally has just like weather powers.
Lightning,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense.
I don't know what it is, but anyway, that's what some theories
That
are
would be
going
sick
on.
though.
So basically, when she gets ejected, she takes off her cap. A huge afro is exposed, and she's like, "Cool, the car didn't work, but don't worry. If I run straight at it, now it will work."
I feel like she's figured out that Vision could come through. People have gone through. The thing is there to keep like sword
Vision isn't a
out.
person.
We know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I'm just ducking with you.
Why do that? Why do that to me? Why you gotta like just take the wind out my sails in the middle of a?
If anything, Vision's closer to the rover than he is.
Don't say it like that. Freaking hell! Like you're not wrong, but like don't say it like that because he's about to have some really human scenes with Darcy.
Yeah, he is.
Why you say it like he's closer to the ice cream truck they're in than Darcy?
Darcy's like, let me just hit it into gear, and Vision's like, yeah, I know what that feels like. Yeah. Anyway, she decides to run into it.
Yeah,
she does get into it.
Through, yeah.
Exactly. She does get into it, and it's a bit of a struggle, and there's this really cool scene of her almost being like refracted in time.
Yeah, as if like there's different versions of her, like say in different universes, and it's all of the things culminating on one Monica that's getting to be this point in. No one else gets that.
No one knows what that joke is.
None of these get
totally inside joke.
Yeah.
And it's
now that's inside.
That's an inside joke, get it? And she hears a lot of voices. She hears her mother in there as well. She hears herself. And she does hear Brie Larson's Captain Marvel in there.
Yeah.
The lowest point of this TV show.
It really is. But who do you send to the lowest valley in your show? You send the main character, right? Because at the lowest point, the main character stands up and can only rise up.
Rise like a phoenix from the ashes.
Exactly, like a dark phoenix. Like the 80s, wherever that's set.
Yeah, I think it's the 80s, 90s maybe. But that is a great, someone should make a movie of that.
I think they should.
So yeah, she gets through.
Yeah, she bursts through the other side. Also, by the way, can I just say,
go on.
This is a good way for a hero to get their powers. Selfless sacrifice to save somebody else, despite great and intense and immediate personal danger. The suffering, the overcoming the obstacle, like a devil-powered force field, keeping everybody, including S.W.O.R.D, one of the humanity's greatest organizations, out. And then coming through the other side, still with your good intentions.
Yeah.
That's an actual hero arc. Captain
It's
Marvel,
a very good
movie. The whole movie.
No. But it's best if
that is the whole hero arc.
It's
the whole hero arc right there.
It's better that she humiliates a man who's maybe being rude, so she can steal his motorbike
despite
and
being able to fly. Yeah,
there we go. Anyway, so yeah, she gets through, and she has these weird, like her eyes are like glowing blue, and she sees the world in a very.
Add that to the list as well.
Sim. Sheps is the sim. And she sees like the world, and the way that I interpret it is that she can see like energy.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah,
totally.
That's the way it seemed to me. But she sort of like snaps out of it for a moment, and then she comes back to
like fade back. Yeah,
exactly. And she can see things normally, but crucially, she's gone into the hex, and she hasn't changed her look at all. She's still in her sword outfit. Yeah. Everything's still the same.
Unfortunately, doesn't have the afro.
Unfortunately, yeah, still did that, but I like her hairstyle.
It's still like, she looks. If you didn't know, I think she looks pretty good. But yeah, not the afro. Pity about the afro, but you can't get everything you want, right?
Yeah. And she goes through, and as I said, here's Captain Marvel's voice, and it sees all those things. But she isn't changed. We cut back to Vision and Darcy, and they're having a catch up. Darcy's filling her in with all the events that happened in Infinity War and Endgame.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, so Wanda killed me. And I have to say, she does it. You know how we go off on tangents and we can't explain things in less than 30 seconds?
Yeah, absolutely.
She does everything perfectly. She explains it all.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Where she's just like, okay, I thought about how I'd present what happens in Infinity War and Endgame to someone that doesn't know these things.
She just goes, so Wanda, can we say yes? But to be fair, she did do that to stop a giant Titan guy or whatever from destroying half the universe.
Well, half the universe.
Half the universe. And it's like, but he did do some weird thing and turn back time and then killed you again. And Wanda had to watch.
Yeah.
And Vision's kind of like, oh shit, so she's been through some shit right there. And he starts to understand, like, while he was angry with her in one of the previous episodes for like not knowing, not explaining what's going on, he's kind of getting that there's a lot more to the story that he doesn't know.
People are complicated and they aren't just sitcom characters.
Yes.
And Wanda's been through some stuff.
Yeah.
Even just the adverts from the first like 3 things tell you about that. You got like the Stark bombs from when she was a kid being like a groomed as a terrorist.
Wait, that wasn't just a toaster? Oh.
What? So yeah, she's been through some stuff.
Yeah, and at this point, Vision and Darcy are intentionally being slowed down.
Okay, so look, at the very beginning,
Wanda
says to the boys, if your father doesn't want to be here, I'm not going to make him, or I can't make him.
Yeah.
And then Vision says, she's trying to stop me. Do we think it's Wanda doing this stuff? Because I don't. I think it's Ains.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely trying to hold her off, because at the end of the day, Wanda, she can kind of manipulate, because I'm your friendly neighbor. Like that. Vision is...
He's a fixed point.
He's a bit more
sides with Vision.
Of a variable there. And she must have seen it as well that time when she was having the conversation with Herb, how he's like, he's not anchored and there's no way to kind of control him. It's like if he sees something fishy, he's going to investigate.
Right.
And he's a vibranium superbot. So he might present a problem.
I don't know the law, but I'm guessing Vision just smashes. And not in that way, but like just if they were to fight, he destroys.
Exactly.
If he was to fight him, he would win the fight.
Exactly.
With Agatha Harkness.
Yeah, Agatha Harkness, that's right. That's her official name.
Whichever
you prefer. And he brings out, he's like, so my code is from an AI called Jarvis, but my corporal form is of a being called Ultron, and as a result of his plan of mass genocide. And she's like, yes. Right.
I mean,
that's also a lot to take in.
Also, in fairness, I hate the Vision, in fairness, he is basically Jarvis, but how here's all that and summarizes it in one very clear and concise.
Again, it's like almost it was a direct dig at us.
Right. In fairness, he didn't have a camera pointed in his face.
It's true.
Right.
That is very true. Anyway, what happens next?
I think it's in his interview, right? As they're watching, like they come to traffic lights and they're like, "There's a lot of traffic lights for bumfrick nowhere," and he says, "Workers come in to fix the traffic light, and they can't go around for some reason. They can't go around."
And they're like, "Come on, what's going on here?" And that's where he says to the camera in it, where he says like, "Oh, I think Wanda's intentionally trying to keep me away from him and stuff like that."
Also, I something about his scenes here.
Yeah,
he's just a dude.
Yeah,
like he's thinking and he's like scratching his head, even though it's a bit of like vibranium, you know.
Yeah,
like if you were to scratch your glasses, it would look weird, but if your glasses were part of you, it would make sense, right? And that's what he's made of, that
like
stuff.
This thing itches me because it's part of me.
Right. So I really dug those scenes. Paul Bettany,
best actor ever.
He's so good, right? Close second to Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, close second. Obviously not better than that.
But nowhere near as talented, obviously, or as good to look. Actually, he's a very good looking dude.
He's a good looking guy.
And Vision is weirdly super good looking.
Yeah.
It annoys me that he, even in his Halloween suit, you're like,
God damn it.
Why does he not look as ridiculous as any other human being would? Like, come on, it's not fair. It's not fair.
In the next scene, we really kick things up a notch. So Monica storms in to Wanda's house.
That's right.
And it's like, Wanda, it's okay. I know what's going on here. This is all about Vision. But obviously she's very angry from the get-go.
Yeah.
Uses her powers, forces her out of the door, holds her in the sky using her wiggly woo powers.
No. She's supposed to blast her away, and if you catch it, I'm pretty certain there's like a weird little blue force field.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Stops Monica. She gets stopped by her own power. And you know when she drops and she hits the ground and there's the blue?
I noticed that. I didn't know.
I'm pretty certain. Go back and watch it. Double check for me, guys. There's probably someone watching it right now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Monica stops herself and drops. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
She stops dead.
I'll have to go look at that again. I didn't notice that, but that could be a really cool thing. Because all of her powers so far, because she doesn't know she has powers, it seems very like subconsciously activated and sort of defensive and whatnot. So they're having a conversation. They're like, and she drops her to the ground and she sees that a blue force field sort of appear, and we're like, that looked cool. That was really cool right there. It did look cool. And Monica tries to get through to her. It's like, look, I know you're not doing this because you're not evil. Don't let Hayward make you the villain here.
And Hayward is the real villain.
He is the real
villain.
Let's
not forget that.
And she's just about to get through to her, talking to her, trying to say, like, I've suffered loss as well.
She speaks her language.
Exactly. It's like, well, we've all suffered. It really is tough.
Yeah.
I understand the pain that you're going through.
Yeah, she says something like, I'm something weird. It's like, I'm glad I feel it, or I wouldn't want to not feel it because it's part of who I am. It's my truth, or something like that. And it's like right there. She says one more good thing, and it will tip Wanda over the edge, and she'll be like, "Okay,
exactly."
Yeah,
but
twitchy curtain lady Ames
Ains comes in. I can't say that anymore. Agnes comes in to protect Wanda.
That's right.
Because Wanda, it needs protecting from her loving neighbor over here. Goes, is everything okay here, Wanda? And then Monica tries to speak. She tries to say it doesn't concern you. It's like, I think you've overstayed your welcome here.
Yeah.
Wanda, come with me. Quickly hushes her off and Wanda to the other side and whatnot. Go on.
You know, at the beginning, when they're talking to Vision, and Herb and Agnes are like, yeah, she doesn't belong anywhere. And then we see the flashback to Agnes speaking to Herb just before Vision comes up.
Yeah.
She puts that into his head.
Yes.
It didn't clock that.
Yeah.
She knows that she's not supposed to be here.
That's
that
what
makes
this
so
all
much
is.
more sense. Yeah.
And if it was coming from her, it might be like, so how do you know? It's coming from multiple people.
But
Oh, shit, what's going on?
Herb is saying, no, she doesn't live here. She doesn't have a
Exactly.
house. Yeah. Sick.
Anyway, tries to get, and then pulls Wanda away, and this bit I thought was amazing. I don't know if you caught this. So Wanda is just about to walk away, and Monica's like trying to like one last attempt, like, you know, it makes sense, you know, like this is wrong, Wanda. And Wanda turns around in her Sokovian accent and goes, "Don't make me hurt you." And I was like, whoa. The way she just flipped on a dime, she went,
yeah, don't make me
I'm
hurt.
Wanda Maximoff right now.
It's cool because it's like, at the end of the day, this chick is down to boogie. Like, if it goes down, she'll, like, gone toe-to-toe with Thanos twice.
Yes.
She's done the whole turning a city into an asteroid thing, right? Been involved in it. Like, she's down, and you're messing with her family. She doesn't know that, actually, she's not being messed with. At the minute, she thinks it's Monica.
Yeah. Outside forces coming in to mess with her, right?
Exactly. You don't mess with Wanda Maximoff.
Don't mess with her.
I also love the like squaring the circle. Don't make me hurt you.
Yes.
You're gonna make me do it. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
You're gonna make me. Don't make me do it.
Exactly.
I love that. Like, it's not that I don't want to hurt you. It's like, don't make me hurt you.
Very dark. There's something. It's so cool.
Really good.
We cut back to Vision and Darcy. The roadworks are done. Thank God.
Finally, we can get going.
Let's get moving, guys. Up, and then suddenly a school of children appear out of nowhere on a school trip. Everyone, kids, hold hands. Make sure you got your leashes together as well.
Of course.
Let's walk right across this intersection.
Yeah. By the way, we have 700 children.
Endless amount of children.
Yeah.
How many kids are in Westfield?
They're actually just doing one big loop. So they're recycling, you know,
exactly.
like movie extras.
And they're like, Darcy's like, come on, what the hell's going on? And Vision like looks at the camera, it's like, I know what the hell's going on.
And remembers that his vision and just phases through and flies.
Right, he's just like, get out of here. Darcy's like, well, I guess I'll just stay here then.
I'll catch you when I get there.
I guess.
See you when I see you.
Yeah. And Agnes takes Wanda back to her house. Says, let me make you some tea, dear. You've been through a lot today. It's very stressful. Let me make you some tea. Good old Agnes. Old Agnes right there.
Wanda sits down on the sofa.
Looks at the bunny and notices there's
half-eaten like PB&J sandwiches.
Exactly. Weird cartoons playing as well.
I feel like initially when I saw what was on the TV, it's like the Teletubbies or like the legally distinct from Teletubbies or something, or the Muppets. And I'm like, these kids are 10, not like 3.
Yeah.
But also, as I'm thinking about it, Agnes doesn't know shit about kids.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she's an older lady with Ralph.
Yeah.
And then also she's Agatha Harkness.
Yes.
Like, she didn't know anything about kids. She just put something on the TV that's on like the kids channel. So I think it made sense.
Yeah. But then Wanda looks over to the curtain.
Yeah.
And there's this giant, disgusting bug.
Yes. Like a big fly or cockroach, like a horsefly or something.
Yeah, massive thing like that. And she's like, the hell's going on? And then Wanda notices the food, notices the cartoon, and goes,
hey, Agnes?
Where are the kids?
Where are the twins? Is it the
twins? Sorry,
yeah,
twins, she does
I
say.
don't know why that's important to me, but I feel like she calls them the twins.
Yeah. She says, where's the twins? She goes, I think they're in the basement.
It's a normal place for children to play.
Normal place. While I just leave the house as well, like fucking unattended, right? And she goes down. So go on.
Did anybody else get real serious Stranger Things vibes? Like real serious.
Especially when you go down, then you look at the hallway. So Wanda goes down. It's like, kids, Billy, Tommy.
Yeah.
No answer. Goes downstairs. She sees like
It's kind of very horror movie-esque, especially because the people that you can't see are called Billy and Tommy.
Yes. Kids are not great in horror movies. I swear to God,
No,
it's so
awful.
freaking. He goes downstairs, sees like a dark sort of stone hallway.
Yeah.
Very different to the whole building itself. And it's like, and as you can see, there's like vines going down, very upside down Stranger Things kind of thing.
Yeah,
going
the
on right
weird
there.
mix of like dark castle, but also like ancient thing that's wrapped itself around like the old ones, like
Westview must be in Hawkins. Wait, we're always in Hawkins. Oh my God, guys. Anyway, she goes down there and she walks in and she sees it's a creepy like dungeon stuff.
Yeah, she's walking for a long time.
Quite a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
And I noticed there was like symbols on the top, gold symbols. I don't know what they were.
So, I've been feeling for a long time Vision on his head. The stone is in this weird like upside down almost triangle with like a line under it. And the very first symbol you see is like this weird, not pointy, but it's like a triangle with a short flat
Okay.
rhombus, I think.
Do you reckon that's what it was?
I don't know. Maybe each one of those things is like an infinity stone, like
Possibly.
the symbol for the Mind Stone, the Time Stone, something like that.
Could be.
Maybe.
Could be.
I have no idea, by the way. Totally making this up.
We could see somebody a super fan in the chat is going to be able to tell us. And she walks in and she's like, okay, looking around, everything's very spooky. There's a cabinet full of skulls and stuff like that from various animals and stuff like
Don't
that.
get me wrong, that is spooky, but I didn't find that so bad. I found the Necronomicon, the human flesh made book with the weird orange energy glowing around it. That was the creepy bit to me.
So I don't know if it's made of human flesh, but
I assume.
do you want to hear something amazing about that book?
Yeah.
Actually, very quickly before we do that, let's go back. Let's continue this bit because it's very short until it ends, and we'll come back to it. So yeah, she goes down, she sees the glowing book and whatnot with the orange energy coming out of it, and then all of a sudden,
Ains
pops out, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't think you were the only one who was special in Westview, did you?" And she's got her rabbit. She's fucking.
That's Ralph. The rabbit's Ralph.
You know
she's a witch. It cuts like a little montage of her from each of the time zones.
It's not just a montage. It's probably one of the catchiest songs in this entire thing. It's like, who's been messing everything up? It's been Agatha all along. And I'm like, that's going to be in my head forever. Okay.
It's a show within a show.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, Marvel.
Within a sphere. Within the universe of Marvel.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good.
And it shows her arriving at Westview. She's like, first of all, in color, and then everything turns into the like black and white. And then throughout all the things, she was at the magic show manipulating stuff.
I want to go back and watch the magic show and see if while it's going on, we can see her doing something.
Anything, right?
Yeah, I really want to know.
And what else did she touches Herb on the shoulder to like make him go along with what she's saying and stuff like that.
She's the reason Pietro's there. Also, you see like...
She does like a Pietro thing like that, and the back of Pietro, that's what you're probably going to say, right? Where it's there's like purple smoke coming off as if she made him materialize.
So I feel like she took him from his universe and pushed him into this reality, into like the hex where he gets the new identity on top of him, and then pushed him up to the door.
See, in my
that's how I think it.
No logic to this, by the way. Just the logic in my head only applies.
Just let it free flow, because you've been so right about too much of this stuff. It's really annoying.
I feel like to be able to pull another person from another universe requires a bit more than just that. I think it requires a bit more, especially for like a witch. Especially like a ritual or something like that. She seems to just pull it. That's why I think it's just an illusion.
Okay.
That's why I think it's illusion.
I mean, she's kind of got this whole giant sphere changing reality already. I feel like going into a different reality.
She seems to be powerful,
not
right?
Not that much further.
But anyway, that's what I assumed from this. And then what else does she do?
I think that's it. No, at the end she goes, and I killed Sparky.
This bitch!
That's how you know she's the bad guy.
Cool, John Wick. Do you know what? I was completely fine with everything she did before. I was like, a little bit of the manipulation here, a little bit of scary stuff there. No problem. And then I killed Sparky. I was like, you die. You die today.
There's one even better bit. There's the bit where she's talking to Vision, and as Vision's like looking around, she turns and like, this guy. She gives that like, and then turns back.
And I was like,
it was really
done. That's the bit that tricked me. If you didn't do that, I'd have been on your case right now, bitch.
Yeah, that's bit was really well done as well.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So okay, there's one thing.
One thing before we move on, I
Yeah.
made a quick edit of that. You know, the people were putting the picture, the still of Agatha going, and I killed Sparky too, and the subtitles were at the bottom, and I edited to basically go, and I'm a Skywalker too.
Oh no.
And everyone loved it. It was such a great one.
That was actually a more compelling way to become a Skywalker. And I hate it.
And I'm a Skywalker too.
That would actually make even more sense.
There you go.
I want to say, you said earlier there's a point where there's like maybe some potential spoilers that we're going to timestamp.
Yes.
Does that relate to this?
No. So I will tell you the book thing first. That
cool.
doesn't. There's no spoilers in this. This is just a cool tie-in. So this, I'm not taking credit for this myself. One of our fellow bros,
Frick 'em.
one of our fellow bros sent me a TikTok that someone called. It's
Don't worry,
very
don't
hard
pin
to
them.
pronounce.
It's combo replations.
We did it. TZV Slomnovsky.
Just stick it up on the screen.
Whatever. I put it up on the screen. But Rick Honkoop is the guy who sent it to us, our bro who's watching right here. He sent me this video, and basically the book is actually the missing book from the Library of Magic in Doctor Strange. All the way back in Doctor Strange.
Wait, they say it's all here except there's one book missing.
There's
basically.
one book missing, and if you go and watch it, when Doctor Strange first sees the books over there and whatnot, there's one missing, and this is the exact same like look and feel to all of them. There's one missing from there.
That totally makes sense. There's your strange tie-in. That's pretty sick.
And it says
That's
on the
pretty
thing,
sick.
it's Kevin Feige. This is what Rick said here. Kevin Feige is a god. Holy shit! If he planned that, which it does look like he did, that's insane. I mean, there.
That may well be canon. That may well be from the comics, where like
I think it is actually. Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Like it's cool, but
putting the end seed in at least is
if
like
if the canon is that at the library there's a book missing, and then Agatha Harkness has the book. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but it's not like super genius. Oh my god, how do you think of it? But it's.
I was floored by it.
I appreciate it. I'm just saying, like, it's not like he planned this a decade in advance, right? It's the lore, and he's just kind of sticking to it.
I think he just put the seed in there for down the line. I think he's got the foresight like this, which I think is a very good trait to have.
If it's just canon, because you don't know what your next villain will be. If that's your next villain, and they have the book that's not in the library, then you need to mention that the book isn't in the library, right?
Yeah.
It's just.
Thank you, Rick, for sending that in.
Cool,
that was very, very cool stuff right there. He sent that to me today, and I was like, "Oh my god, you sent that at the perfect time."
That's freaking sick.
That's good timing right there.
That is cool. I love those little tie-ins. That was like one of the best things about Game of Thrones, the whole Hodor thing.
Exactly.
Except that my theory is that he came up with that before he wrote the books, you know?
Just before we go into the possible spoilerish stuff, even though it's not confirmed or anything like that, we get a mid-credit scene.
This really confused me.
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
So after we get the please stand by stuff and whatnot and the cool looking stuff, we get a cut. And Monica Dambo is, I'm saying Dambo now, fucking. This
her name.
We've ruined every name. Monica Dambo is looking into Agatha's house, seeing if she can get in some sort of way. Can't see anything.
Runs on the side.
Notices a basement door.
The creepy cellar door thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Opens it up, and her eyes go purple. And she can see the purple vine, the magic of the vines going down it. And she's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, Pietro, does he say creeper's gone creep?
Snooper's gonna snoop.
Snooper's gone snoop. Cut to black.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Pretty cool. So this is why I think that he really is a Pietro. He's one of the multiverse Pietros. Because he just appears. Then again, you feel like a demon could just appear.
I think one of my theories one time was that, I know this is the running joke.
Yeah.
I thought he was Mephisto, taking form so he could try and infiltrate and get more information from Wanda.
Why would he ask Wanda how she's doing this? Why would Why would he potentially sow the seeds of doubt about Agnes? By the way, does Agnes work for Mephisto? Are they related?
So that's part of the thing I'm going to say later. If you want to hold on to it.
Spoiler bit.
So let's just say that's everything that happened there. Yeah. I am now going to, and I'll put on the screen, talk about some stuff. It's not confirmed or anything like that. Yeah. It's just stuff that I've done reading up research of. Yeah. If you don't want to know this stuff, that's totally fine. But none of this stuff is confirmed by any means to anything.
Also, do this. Like if you're listening on podcast services around the world, if you're one of the audio virgins, skip ahead a bit, And you can always come back. Like, we'll be probably doing, we'll be reading stuff from the Discord and Patreon comments.
As I say, there are show notes, and I'll put a little thing in there to say, like, from this time to this time, we talk about.
If you're driving and you can't check the show notes for the timestamp, just bang it ahead a few minutes.
Yeah.
Until you're into the comments, and then work your way back, because I really don't want anyone getting spoiled.
If you're driving your ambulance, for example, and you're on your way to the hospital,
screaming, blood gouting up to the
pull over to the side of the road. Next.
Exactly.
Done. Okay, now we can continue our journey.
Before you get back onto the road, text everybody. By the way, if you checked out the new StreamCast episode,
it's great.
Gone over to YouTube channel, youtube.com/comboplations. The True Game Podcast is so much one of my favorites. I'm gonna go to patreon.com/conversations and subscribe to the $69 tier, because man, are these guys entertaining. And you text that to all your group chats.
Yes.
Text your mum, your grandma, your parole officer,
all of the people,
all of it, and then you get back underway.
Exactly. So from now on, I'm going to start talking about it and things on the screen. So the lore in the comics is that Agatha becomes a magical tutor for Scarlet Witch.
Right.
She teaches her essentially how to become bigger and better and more powerful and stuff like that. Which kind of puts her in the position that she's a good person.
I was just about to say definitely not.
Well, this is the thing.
Because, so
go on.
Just because you teach someone something doesn't make you like a good person. She could be grooming her. Like Hydra taught them how to do stuff and gave them their powers. They weren't good, they were using them for their own means, right?
See, there's a bit of confusing stuff here, because also the history of Agatha Harkness is that she also was almost like a magical nanny for Franklin Reed, which is Reed Richards' son.
Yeah.
And the Fantastic Four also come and save her one time when she's in trouble and whatnot.
Right.
So it almost seems like she's an ally. However, and this ties into what happened in this episode.
Okay.
Wanda's children disappear.
Yes, we can't find them.
And we did say that in the lore, in the like comic books and stuff like that, Wanda pulls the energy from the universe and is actually accidentally pulls Mephisto's souls,
fragments of Mephisto's soul, and puts
to
them into
make the kids. There is in the lore where Agatha is working on behalf of Mephisto to get those children so Mephisto can reabsorb those soul fragments. And when she finds out about it, Agatha actually cares about Scarlet Witch and tries to magic her memory away, like she did at the end of this episode here, to try and forget the trauma of losing her children.
Because I don't see that working one bit.
No.
And I feel like from what we know of Agatha, which is that, having seen the flashback, how she's like manipulating this whole thing, she must know that if she takes away the kids, especially the kid, maybe Vision, but especially the kids, Wanda is gonna never rest until she kills this chick, and that could be very soon.
Well, she magics away any memory of the kids. That's what at least what the comic books did. So she doesn't have to suffer with the trauma of losing her children. Now, I believe that could work. At least for a little bit. I don't know how she needs to constantly think about it. But can this sort of magic work on Vision? And if Vision comes back into the play, you think he's going to be like...
Because he doesn't know himself, right? He's a brand new reboot, right? He's living this identity, figuring out everything else. The thing is, though, is that MacGuffin's our way for Wanda to not be like the villain or a villain. Because if she's like gone mad with grief over the loss of her family, that's kind of like not a get out of jail free card, but like it's understandable why she would like go on a rampage, right? If she just forgets that she had a family, now she's just done this to a town for no good reason, and then she has to come up with a reason why she did it, and there's nothing compelling enough. I don't know, man. It'd be really interesting.
Well, this thing, I don't believe.
Ruin my scene of them seeing Vision.
I don't believe this is a permanent thing. I don't think she's gonna they take the kids away and then she wipes the memory from her mind and then that's it. We never see the kids ever again. That's the end of that story.
Right.
I think it's more of does it and then somehow she breaks out of it or something like that, and then all hell breaks loose in it too.
She goes to
Although
the one door
we only have 2 episodes left, so I don't know what's gonna happen in this last 2 episodes.
Season 1,
guys.
I think. Maybe there's the whole thing where, like, next episode, she's like, I've taken the kids. If you want them, you're going to have to get stronger. I can show you how. because I need you to be strong for what's coming, and she never says. And then she walks through the one door she's not allowed, sees the kids, even if she's been like magic memory wiped. And then they're like, Mum, and she's like, Mum, I don't have any flashback. Like, oh my God, I have kids, goes insane, beefs Mephisto, and I just...
This is what it says in the comics. This is what's happened in the comics. This is the background lore. Again, we've said previously that the MCU doesn't like carbon copy follow straight from the books. It takes inspirations from it and it makes its own versions of things. But that's what's happened in there, and it does look like it could fit.
There's one thing when you're not considering.
Yes.
Disney owns Marvel.
Yes.
We've already seen True Love's kiss once already.
Yes.
That is like the most powerful form of magic there is.
Yeah.
So nothing they do to Wanda can last long enough. As long as all Vision has to do is give her a kiss, and then boom, she snaps back to reality. Whoop, there goes Rabbit. I'm sorry, I won't quote Eminem ever again. I swear. So it's Disney, and True Love's kiss is the most powerful magic. That's standard. That is the law. So
I don't know, but that could be how
Wally comes back.
But that could be how he snaps her out of it. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I like reading this stuff, and there's possibly someone else out there who likes to hear this stuff and let their minds go wild. I know that this Streamcast, this show, has become the center of all theories and everything regarding Marvel, and I can't wait to see it when it happens to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, how things are going to go. This is going to be really cool. I'm so glad you guys are into it as much as I am.
The one thing, though, is that they said there is a cameo that like is as big as Luke Skywalker coming back. And frankly, as much as I enjoy Pietro, and as much as that Pietro is the only good thing about Days of Future Past, literally the only good thing, we haven't seen a cameo that big. We haven't seen a Luke Skywalker cameo, and
we'll see.
We're out of options because it can't be Pietro. He's cool, but he's not Luke Skywalker, right? It could have been Reed Richards, except it's, let me check my notes, just somebody from S.W.O.R.D.
Just some random person.
So that's out the window. So in my opinion, for what that person said to not be an absolute lie, we still have a cameo coming up.
Yeah. We'll see who that is, but for the moment, that was episode 7 of WandaVision, which was damn good. Too bad this bitch has to die for killing Sparky, but it's just one of them things, you just have to get on with it. Exactly. Let's kick it over to our boys over at patreon.com/conversations, where you guys can join to write in and be the first to be read out on all of our shows over here.
It's not just that. For as little as $1 a month, you get exclusive podcasts, early access to the True Gamer podcast. I mean, we've shielded our stuff enough, but you actually do get some cool stuff. It's pretty cool over there.
Something cool that we should mention, 28th of February, we're going to be doing an all-day gaming stream over at Conversations. You guys should come check that out. It's just going to be gaming. Yeah, we should have done this at the beginning.
At the very beginning, when we had everybody's attention, we should have been like...
WandaVision, wipe your mind. This is the beginning of the podcast.
That's right. Let's just cut that. Hey, by the way, we're doing the thing. Also, I really want to push for 50 patrons. I think that'd be so cool. It's a big, like our first landmark.
We put a lot of effort into it, so I feel like we've earned a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk to Super Whale Ben, who writes in to Patreon, and he says, "Oh, they are sneaky, aren't they? I really did think Agatha was pulling some kind of strings, but in episode 6, it made me doubt it. That since she reacted the way that Vision blocked out Wanda." Exactly. We're on the same wavelength here, Ben, or whatever he does. What I'm guessing will happen is that Agatha will somehow force Wanda into making the decision of having her family or leaving the Hex or losing her family and going back to her normal life. In the end, I believe the kids will still be around, but Wanda won't know that, so she will essentially have to make the ultimate sacrifice, like you were saying.
Yeah.
You gotta love some of the obvious ways Monica Rambeau's got her powers.
Who's
Definitely.
Monica Rambeau?
Yeah, I don't know who Monica Rambeau is. Dambo, perhaps?
Oh, there's a typo.
Easy to make that mistake. Yeah. I know all about typos. Definitely didn't see that happening from a mile off. Yeah, definitely not. Still very cool, though. I'm presuming we'll see more of her in Captain Marvel too. I presume that too, yeah. So he was thrown off as well, just like I was. Except I managed to like have one hand on the stick. I was like, okay, I'm getting off. Nope, I'm not letting go of this theory. Not letting go right there.
Where are you freaking reading? I don't see. Oh, it's on Patreon, not Discord.
Yes,
I was
Patreon.
like, I don't see this.
You get Discord ready and you can start from there in a second. Real Kermit Cinema also writes in and he goes, hey lads, my question is, do you think that at the end of the series, Wanda will finally be given the name Scarlet Witch? Because she doesn't actually have that name yet. And which I think she will get through her training with Agatha Harkness.
I agree.
I think that's how she'll get it.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't really seem witch-like. So
she's psychic, isn't she? Yeah.
So I don't think people would call her witch. Yeah. Whereas another witch training her, let's call you Scarlet Witch. Yeah. That's how it goes. Which also, I'm not sure, but I think Agatha is not working alone. And she is working with Mephisto or Nightmare. I think you're right. I think she's working with Mephisto.
Could well be.
Yeah, thank you guys for writing in. You guys are legends for supporting us. Thank you for the continued support. Let's kick it over to Discord now with some of our questions.
Discord, because you had a running joke. Diogo writes in and says, she killed Sparky, sad face.
Ooh, boy.
Diogo says, oh my god, so I'm finally caught up after having the Quicksilver reels spoiled by you bastards.
Let's not look. Okay, look, the whole world was talking about it because you saw it from kind of near us. Get out of here.
Listen, shut up.
Yeah. By the way, you missed the first part of this message just here where it says, "Oh my God, Eddie, you were right about everything." But continue how you was saying. Well, in fact, it says it for every single one of the comments.
It's
which
only Diogo writing in.
Oh, true. Only Diogo.
So whatever he says is basic. We can just ignore it. But I feel bad for the girl. We got to read it out.
Go on, really. Yeah.
For real, I really enjoyed catching up on the show. All the hints kept me so hooked. So did the cliche tropes of the sitcom eras. I freaking love the cliche tropes. Not surprised about Ains. He wrote Ains.
He did.
He definitely did. The show is dropping hints with each episode about how she'd conveniently show up and save the day, how she broke character and Wanda didn't react. It's the thing where she goes like, do you want me to take it again? Where I'm like, she's under the spell. She's not... It was really well done. It was pretty slick. Or how she broke character and Wanda didn't react like she did to Monica. I think she's using Wanda to maybe sap her power. There was that ad which was like someone's munching yo magic. Something's eating or surviving off.
That is a good theory. I do like that. And that ad sort of makes me feel like it.
You know the bug in her room? Because locusts eat stuff. That's the thing that they do, right? If that was a locust...
I'm no... What's the word for it?
Insectologist, obviously.
I'm no insectologist. Unfortunately. Entomologist. I think that is actually it.
Mate, how do we know that, but we can't spell regular words? I can't spell and properly, reliably. Frick. This ties into the Nexus advert, which the Nexus is basically like a strong point in the multiverse, which tells us that Westview is important. Does it tell us Westview is important or that?
I think he's inferring that.
Okay.
But it could be. I think because there is a Nexus point in each multiverse, in the next universe, and there's also a Nexus being that anchors that universe. Okay. So it could be Westview and her. Cool.
Maybe Agnes needs her energy or something. Mr. Scratchy, perhaps?
Yeah, Mr. Scratchy is apparently, that's again comic book lore and whatnot, where she was in a fight with her.
Ralph.
Yeah, with Ralph. There you go. But anyway, so that's spoiler stuff we're not going to talk about. We're not.
Missing posters on the milk carton. I wonder if that's a missing person that Woo... No, because it's a kid, isn't it? Because Jimmy Woo's there to find his missing...
Usually it's kids on more cards. But I thought that might be also a throw to the kids going missing.
Okay, yeah.
Possibly, but it's only one child. Doesn't really make sense. No, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe the curtains are just red.
Yeah, but also he says like the person that's missing as well that Woo was after, which I love how we just forgot about. It's like that person's forgotten. We don't care about that person no more.
What do they call it? Where you change your identity to get away from like witness protection.
Witness protection, yeah.
That's an adult. You don't.
True.
I think Agnes was keeping Vision away. Yeah. Because he's the key to all of this. He can snap people out of Wanda's control. Maybe he can snap Wanda out of Agnes's control. I think the kids didn't really exist either, and Agnes has made them vanish. I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm glad that this show is what started Phase 4 off instead of FFH.
Far From Home?
Oh, yeah. Far From Home or Black Widow, yeah. like originally intended, because this has been very interesting to watch. Got high hopes for these Disney Plus shows, whereas before I was hesitant that the quality would drop by adding countless shows onto the MCU's plate, as well as the movies. I totally agree. I was super worried, even about this show, that it just wouldn't be there.
We didn't assume that Disney would essentially reinvent TV shows.
Yeah.
And also, could you imagine no shit talking to Black Widow? I'm sure it's going to be a great movie because she's a great character at least. But I feel like Black Widow is going to come out and it's just going to be a good MCU movie and that's it. Imagine if it started with that. It's just like, great, it's a good MCU movie. Let's move on to the next thing. That's instead of this.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Man, that would have been something. Anyway, kicking over to D.
Diogo.
Diogo. Yeah, there's Diogo there. And he goes, oh my God, Eddie, you were right. Thank you, bro, for saying that. Thank you.
That's weird. My one doesn't show that.
No, everyone says it. If you look down at all of them, they all say that.
Maybe I'm not reading the fine print.
Exactly, you're not reading.
Yeah,
you don't have even got the full version in front of you.
That's
what it
it.
is. The episode was pretty good overall. It's probably my least favorite. Oh, come on, man. I mean, is it because they killed Sparky? Is that what is it? She admitted
that was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, she admitted it though, and it's kind of it's terrible, murderer. It's probably my least favorite one because I'm not that big of a fan of Modern Family. You see, you don't have good taste. And it's a style, so most of the episode bored me a bit, but it was still interesting enough. The only part that had me hooked was the Agnes reveal and the Agatha song at the end, which is oddly catchy.
Very catchy.
It was Agatha all along.
Yeah, very good.
As for theories, I think Agatha is using Wanda's powers to possibly make Mephisto stronger or summon him. I think that Mephisto is going to be like Loki, be like the Loki of the newer phases of Marvel movies. That's true as well.
Yeah, it could be.
Also, we didn't discount as well. Loki might have some sort of involvement.
I feel like Loki
always seems to be around.
I don't feel like Loki's powerful enough to bridge universes and change realities and stuff, right? Like he can survive leaving the Bifrost and go into the trash heap stuff.
Yeah.
But like changing reality at its fundamental core and turning someone into Captain Marvel, I don't feel like he can I don't think he's got the juice.
Perhaps. But also I feel like Quicksilver is just the X-Men Quicksilver but brainwashed, because it would be a wasted opportunity to have him there for a quick cameo. I want everyone to prepare themselves for heartbreak.
Yeah, I agree with you, D, that's what it is, but I'm also worried that it is just a shameless cameo to get
a very cool one.
Yeah, to get us nerds all riled up about it, get all of the fan theories going. So our videos, as you know, all do multi-million views. There's that glitch on YouTube where it doesn't show the extra zeros.
Yeah, and it says K instead of M and B. It's so strange.
It's so strange.
But YouTube. Thanks for reading, lads. Have a good day. Yeah, there you
go. Diogo.
Yes.
Yeah. You're all Diogo now.
Strange.
You did this to yourselves. Okay, you did it.
That's right, Batfan. Suck it.
That's right. I'm never saying your name. Do you guys think that the fact that Evan Peters is in the show is hinting at different Marvel property actors appearing in the MCU? Also, the name of the antidepressant in last week's episode is the same as the gateway in the Marvel universe that leads to all the other universes. My theory is that whatever happens in WandaVision will activate or grow the Nexus to make the multiverse more accessible.
Possibly. It would be very interesting. They like the first possible moment that you can introduce the idea of multiverses, introduce it to set it up to be like, okay, this could happen.
Yeah.
Be ready for more stuff. I think it'd be very cool. Oh, did you?
I totally spilt the last of my drink. I poured it into my mug and it skipped the mug and went on the table, and then like 2 drops went in the mug.
Of course, it's not like it was an easy thing to hit, you know, it's just like that.
Yeah,
do you know what? I do that all the time, actually.
I know.
With the last bit, it just something to jump out.
I love that you're the one giving me shit.
I like your theory, bro. I like your theory, except for again, I'm of the mind that the Marvel actor showing up, Evan Peters.
You think that's the cameo?
I think it's not the cameo, but it's
so you think
cameo. I don't think it's anything more.
Okay.
I don't think it means, we're going to get, like, for example, if they said, so Wolverine is going to be really hard to cast.
Yeah.
I don't think we're getting Hugh Jackman back.
Agreed.
I don't think we're getting all of those X-Men guys back, even if they were fantastic.
Yeah. It's not going to be Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart.
I don't think we're going to get those back. I think this was just a very cool cameo because they were like, wouldn't it be cool to get her brother back? Let's get the other. That's all I think it is, unfortunately.
I feel like there's a good possibility there is no other cameo, right? But there's really good groundwork for, as much as I didn't buy it before, Doctor Strange. So we could get Cucumber Batch, whatever his name is.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
It does make me think cucumbers, yeah.
We could get him, which would be a cameo, and he is a very talented actor.
Yeah.
Or we could get, I'm really hoping for Fassbender.
Yeah.
I could see those being in it. However, I'm not sure where they're going with it. I thought I was seeing the steps, before, but they've taken some odd turns. Like the Agatha Harkness thing, not really. I'm not changing it. Doesn't like throw a wrench in the works for what I had said, but the fact that we're 2 episodes away, and that we haven't really heard about the multiverse makes me wonder. Like, it just bugs me, because why bring back this actor for Pietro? We can just recasting Pietro in itself is big enough. I think it would be a real blow, a real negative, if they brought back the Evan Peters Pietro just to get us all stirred up about, oh my god, it's the multiverse, and then never show it. Like at this point, I think the fans will be really pretty angry if he's just a cameo. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have him just as a cameo.
I think they'll bring back I think they'll introduce the multiverse stuff, but I don't think it will be actors that we know. I think they'll go fresh. I think that's what they'll do. But anyway, that's just what I think. Let's kick it over to the next comment. It's the real Diogo, allegedly. I'm not gonna speculate as to the legitimacy of that. But he goes, since I can't edit my prior message, because apparently it's too long, I'll post it here. Eddie, you're right. Oh my god, how amazing are you? Can I get next week's lottery numbers? He says.
That's weird, because I don't see that. The Eddie, you're right. You said that's at the top of the message.
Top of the message, right at the top.
It's not in his name.
No. So just part of the message.
I don't see it.
Strange, right there. Must be a WandaVision thing.
On my own Discord server. I can't see it. How weird is that?
Don't worry about it. I'll read them out for you. Don't worry. Those bits you don't see, I'll read out for you.
It's like the lecturer's notes on the PowerPoint. Why do you get to? I don't see it.
I don't think that Pietro is the X-Men version.
All right.
But it is the X-Men version. Anyway, I think that's the fourth wall break to mislead us.
I feel no joke. I feel like if that is the way they're doing it, huge misstep on Disney's part, right? Because that means that whatever power's doing this chose this Pietro for a reason, but there's no link. Unless it's a demon or something that it's summoned, because I guess it's the devil, right? Some entity that it's summoned and made it look like that. Well, why not just make it look like her Pietro? It doesn't make sense to make him look like this and not have the multiverse, and that would bug me.
Strange.
Yeah, it would bug me.
I just find it hard to believe that the MCU's multiverse is going to be like the comics when the Doctor Strange movie literally explains that it's just alternate views of our reality, i.e. like the mirror dimension and the dark dimension, for example. I think Far From Home and... is it Far From Home?
I think Far From Home. Yeah, I think it is.
I think so.
FFH Far From Home. I think so.
And this...
Frick him. If it's not, it's his fault.
I feel like it's an X-Men thing, because it says, and this Pietro thing. Anyway, and this Pietro thing is just a wink at the comics, the multiverse, when it won't happen. Also, don't think that mutants will come from this barrier, because it removes the whole mutant versus human struggle that present for all those characters, which is something you said about the whole beginning and how we've also had mutants from all the way back in the Egyptian times.
Unless they come through, and then you got the whole they're migrants. That's the thing. Instead of it being like a racism metaphor, it's a migration metaphor. Could be, but I know it's a difficult one.
The thing is that the comics and whatnot, and again, they don't follow the comics exactly, but the comics, the whole genesis of mutants is that they do struggle in the way that it's humans versus non-humans.
There is one thing that I want to say, which is that just because Marvel's already set a thing doesn't mean that they aren't going to change, or that this won't be, I agree with you that they've already shown us other stuff, but this doesn't have to be the same thing.
Yeah.
And Marvel's done that before plenty of times, so they're like, we did it this way, but now it's different,
Yeah. The book as well, I'm not sure if this is if this is the Darkhold, the book he's talking about with the orange stuff coming off of it, like most people are theorizing, since Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. already used it for Ghost Rider arc, apparently Darkhold was in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, but the problem is that they don't mention Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in any of the MCU movies, so it's not really canonized.
I definitely feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not it's not canon.
The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. mention the movies and the things that happen,
I think,
but it's never done the other way around, which
I think with the Disney Plus stuff that they're putting on now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sorry boys, deleted, like it's not a thing. It's the movie universe and whatever they're putting out now.
It was just a cool thing they made at the time. That's all it was.
Right. I don't think it's like that thing with what's the Star Wars show that everybody loves and they're like, oh, Rebels isn't canon but Clone Wars is, or whatever. I think it's that kind of deal where it's like, it was cool. I never watched it, but like a lot of people enjoyed it. But I don't think looking at that going, well, they showed this in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it's I don't think it's canon.
And the books look very different, he says. Maybe they'll retcon that, and since the MCU hasn't really acknowledged the show, but the showrunners did say that the missing book was from Doctor Strange's library. Here we go.
We just said that. Why are you copying our comments?
Diogo,
we just said it.
Fucking hell, you're such a
freaking guy.
Plagiarizing right here.
Diogo says, yeah, you're all getting it. You did it to me, I'm doing it to you.
Suck it.
Pretty cool episode. Loved the intro. Gave me the Office vibes. Okay.
Similar sort of thing, yeah.
Sheps will be jizzing all over the Monica Dambo after this episode. What powers do you think she's gained by crossing over the Hex? Because she can't be mind controlled by Wanda anymore. Can't she?
That's true. She tries to get her at one point where she's like, before she starts to reason with her, she tries to tell her to like stop and go away, but she resists somehow. She seems to get through it. But because she immediately goes into speaking reason and gets through to Wanda, it just sort of like get brushed to the side, but that does happen.
I don't think I clocked that. The Agatha reveal at the end was cool, and I called it, is what Diogo says.
Eddie called it. All right, cool.
No, it says and. Well, it doesn't even say and. It just says brackets. Called it. Not Eddie.
I think it means Eddie called it, but don't worry about it.
Mentions you.
It's
like,
okay.
Not even by name. There's hardly even the same letters.
Listen, Gamer Lad knows the truth. Okay.
And I think she's working for Mephisto, so a lot of people think that. Interested to know how Agatha manages to bring Quicksilver from the multiverse and control him. Can't wait to see what happens next in this wild ride. I agree with you that
That's why I don't think it's him. Because
you haven't been right about a single one of these things. It's definitely the multiverse.
It's true.
It's confirmed. It's the real Pietro from a different timeline, and Agatha's controlling him.
I'm 0 for 25 right now. My record is terrible.
Whereas mine, flawless. Wait until the Hydra reveal. Also, I saw the gif of Ains with Sparky. For some reason, I thought it was a little chimpanzee baby.
Oh, I see, because like just the hair sticking out.
I was like, why has she got a baby monkey?
So strange.
It's so weird.
The nun Fricka Ben.
Don't you mean Diogo?
Diogo, sorry, my apologies. He posted the gif here. Goes, and I killed Sparky too. John Wick will not be happy about that. He says, damn right. And the guy Matt as well. He's like, John Wick right now.
In fairness, he didn't do the thing before, the Diogo thing, so he gets to be that guy Matt.
It's true.
Diogo says,
definitely Diogo.
No spicy sauce. Not the best episode, but the reveal was really good. The reveal that Monica knows somebody at S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That actually is the worst bit about the whole show to me so far. They really built that up, and it was just a person. Yeah. Here's my theory so far. Agatha helped Wanda create the Hex initially. In another episode, they discuss how Wanda's power alone wouldn't be strong enough to do what they did, so it makes sense that she had a helper. Throughout the show, Agatha is very helpful towards Wanda, but she starts having a mind of her own, perhaps as her own ulterior motive, and in this episode starts messing everything up. In the comics, there was apparently a moment where Agatha wipes Wanda's memory. I think Agatha wiped Wanda's memory after she helped create the Hex. That makes sense. That would definitely work, which is why Wanda doesn't remember her helping her create the Hex. I also think they're going to slowly introduce Mephisto, and he's basically going to be the Thanos of the MCU going forward. Could see him being a Thanos. I feel like the Devil is a good pick for like your next big bad.
Yeah.
Pretty much the big bad for Supernatural, one of the great shows, which we'll be doing because that's on streaming set now. Only 15 season, boys. But It's the slowly introducing bit. We have 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And they're not an hour. We got that teaser that they'd be an hour long. They aren't.
I think they could introduce Mephisto as a villain. I don't think he's going to be the Thanos level villain. I think it's too early to be seeding the big bad. Well, that's like Iron Man 1. All right, let's do it, boys. Let's go into this.
But like Thor 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy, they all teased Thanos. Thanos has been teased since...
But they were way movies in. Not Thor 1, did they?
And was it Thor? But Thanos was teased for like 11 movies. He was teased for 6 movies before we even saw him.
Definitely. I remember seeing like he was on, like you saw the back of his shadow. I think it was actually where we really got to see Thanos, where we thought, okay, Thanos is the big villain, was the first Avengers movie, where he bangs on the glove and he's like, I'll do this myself and stuff like that.
Does he do that? Oh, that's the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was right at the beginning. I think it's too early for that.
That's 2013.
I think he could be a good...
7 years.
I think he's going to be a good villain.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the bad villain, even though he's the devil.
7 years' time. In 2028, you don't think he would be like the big bad for the next Avengers?
I think it's too soon for it. I think they're probably planning someone else that's going to be even bigger and badder, which is going to stray.
The devil.
The devil, bigger than the devil. God, that's it.
I mean, that would be bigger.
There you go. Let me quickly get through some more of these.
Diogo says,
yes.
So can I also get a round of I can't read that hashtag. It's blank. It's spoiler tags for me. I can't read it.
Hashtag
for calling this sus bitch from Day, and also calling Quicksilver. And then this is the most interesting thing: the reaction. Which look at that, it's going up. It just says you were wrong.
Correct. That's what it says right there.
Wrong.
Let me read the next one quickly because we are going really quite long. It was a brilliant episode. This is by Joe, by the way. Diogo, sorry, my apologies. It was a brilliant episode, by the way, to finally have a response to what's happening. They kind of changed focus throughout the series to make it look like it was someone else. And I'm glad Darcy has her free will back. And I wonder what her and Vision are going to do about Wanda. I think he's going to be the one that snaps out of it.
But
it's true.
Yeah.
I think he's going to snap her out of it. I think he's the one thing that Agnes can't control. Agatha, I should say now. And I think that's why he was being kept back.
I definitely think the Vision snapping people out is like the MacGuffin. That's the thing that could be the saving grace here. There's
a lot of questions in this one. Do you mind if I can remember this episode? Because my last one was a bit short.
Yeah.
Okay. Diogo. Diogo says, writes in, and he says, this has honestly been such a great episode.
Agreed.
The show overall has blown me away. The Agatha reveal was the most predictable thing. It was easy now.
I saw it coming a mile away. In fact, I think I even said that in the very first episode.
Just because you're a watcher of this show and we laid out all of the stuff for it doesn't mean it's predictable.
It's followed our roadmap to the T.
We're just, we can see into the crystal ball. We can tell this stuff. Right. Agatha reveals most predictable thing in the whole show, but I still liked it the way it was revealed. The song was a banger, and how good has Catherine Hahn been through this whole show? I love her performance. She is actually fantastic.
Yeah, and she has that strong MILF energy, which is a very important thing to me, it turns out.
Important, about one of the most things. Requirements, MILF energy, done.
Yeah, exactly.
The bits with Vision and Darcy cracked me up. I love their chemistry.
Agreed.
The Monica Dambo sequence was so sick of her breaking through the barrier, probably Blue Marvel, and instead...
no, you skipped something.
Did I?
Yeah, definitely.
And probably my favorite scene in the whole show. Here we go. The engineer reveal was very disappointing.
So disappointing.
Is it Reed Richards? Is it the Beast? Who could it be? Okay, Major Goodner.
Someone at S.W.O.R.D. However, what was appointing is that everybody is calling her Dambo now.
Yes, exactly. Everyone is. I'm loving it, guys. Thank you so much. Sorry for the mic hit there. Everyone wanted Reed Richards or Blue Marvel. There we go. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
And instead, we got some random chick who we've never seen before and probably won't see again.
Yeah. But she's loyal to your mum, but not just your mum.
Not just your mum.
Yeah. Cool.
There you go. Love the episode as a whole. As I said before, nothing much wrong with the episode except for Agatha killing Sparky. Frick that bitch. Thank you.
Totally agree.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
That's right.
It's amazing how she said, I did this thing, I did that thing. Okay, this is totally fine with all that stuff. And I killed Sparky too. You motherfucker.
That's it. That's it. You crossed the line.
Gloves are off, lads.
Yeah, you got the line. Keeping thousands of people hostage.
Totally fine.
Fine. But you killed the one dog in this whole show?
Nah, fam. Nah. I got a couple of questions and I wanted to hear some of your theories.
Yeah, boy.
What do you think Hayward is planning to do with the Hex? I'm kind of thinking he will nuke the whole thing.
I think this guy couldn't find his dick in the dark. So...
That's a good one. I like that.
That.
Would he do a nuke? Would it be that drastic?
I think he's dumb enough to be like, yeah, let's just kill everyone to keep everybody safe.
I was going to say, that's one of those dumb things that like world leaders do, right? Let's throw nukes at it. Oh, shit, they threw nukes back at us. Well, the Earth is dead.
Yeah, Hayward's one of those idiots. So, yeah, maybe.
He could do. I think that I'm more inclined to believe that now. Yeah, okay, that's my theory. Yeah. What do you think the people in the circus will still be... why do you think the people in the circus were still being controlled by Wanda or Agnes when the other people on the outskirts of the last episode weren't? Good question.
Different episode. Because everybody around Wanda was... It was a huge collection of people,
That's
so
true.
all the power, all the RAM was concentrated on the event, and so they had to draw power away from the outskirts. But now it's at like a base level, and everybody's doing their normal thing.
There was like 1,000 kids running around. Now those kids have gone to bed wherever they were before.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, that's why. That's why.
Also, and let's not forget this, it's a TV show.
True.
So it could have just been the way they wrote the scene.
Yeah, it could be the way they wrote the scene. Also, who do you think is controlling the people in the Hex? I still have a feeling it's Wanda doing most of the work. I think so too, because we do see her stretched a little bit thin and like things start to like sort of disappear and stuff like that. And I think that's based on the Hex getting bigger and she's like stretching her powers now. I
kind of like the idea of Agnes helping her set this thing up and to begin with, probably with Mephisto's help. And then putting her under as well, like under a bit, or at least wiping her memory of that happening so that she doesn't know why she's in control. She just happens to be in control, right? Of course you want to have the mod powers, right? So I could believe that. So then it would be Wanda. Still Wanda / Agnes, but mostly Wanda. Actually, I think that makes the most sense. That she went in and Agatha or whatever's like, if you go in here, like... Same thing's going to happen to you. Vision's going to be there, but you won't remember all of this. You won't setting it up. You'll just be in it, and you can like live happily ever after. By the way, we're going to like snack on your magic or something, right?
BT dubs. I hate myself. I said that. Why the fuck?
You said it out loud.
I said it out loud. I hate abbreviation, and I said it.
One of the reasons I tweet the SMH my head is because I know that even when you see it and you know it's a bit, there's that like tightness in your chest. Motherfricker.
Every time. I've got into saying Coke Zero. I say CZ like the kids say it.
No,
and every time
I'm
like, oh no.
Also,
I'm an idiot. Yeah, I know I'm saying it like American.
But like CZ doesn't work.
Anyway, I'm an arsehole.
Was that a tangent?
We've got it. Exactly.
Ed, come on, stay on topic.
I even just complained that we're going... Anyway, what do you think about the theory that Dottie, that was that bitch from the garden party...
Oh yeah, because we did see her in this.
We
for like
never saw her again, then 1 second we saw her like that.
Also, she lives next to Wanda. Since when was that
apparently
thing?
Dottie and the girls in the club are other witches. So this plays into that Marvel lore thing because Agatha Harkness is apparently Heartless, sorry, my apologies. Yeah. Is apparently one of the witches of Salem.
Oh, sick.
So that's how she is a big mess. And she's apparently hundreds and hundreds of years old.
700-year-old witches, but mutants aren't a thing in this universe. I'm going to be pissed.
Got it.
But then why are they under the spell?
It's a bit of a loose theory.
Yeah, I feel like that's loose. Also, why is Monica Dambo there? Because she's at the first... whatever that the busybodies meeting. She
does just appear into the world, so maybe she just gets thrown into that thing by mistake.
Maybe.
The lines about Dottie being the key and us getting a shot of Dottie and the mailman.
I don't see how the mailman plays into it, even metaphorically.
Yeah.
I think it was just a guy who's like, back to normal. You know?
Towards the end of the episode, can't be a coincidence, I don't think.
Sometimes the cun's just red, man.
Yeah,
Stop overthinking it.
Maybe.
Like, don't be like,
you stop overthinking all of these
Look,
episodes?
We don't overthink this stuff, right?
We just came.
We just laid it out, and then it followed exactly what we said.
Exactly.
We've been right the whole way through.
We just spoke about the show. We're not even thinking of theories.
We just clocked it and told you how it was going to happen.
Exactly. I like the thinking though. It's just outside the box thinking. I admire. And lastly, who do you guys think Evan Peters' character actually is, since he's clearly not the X-Men Quicksilver?
Why is he clearly not the X-Men?
Clearly,
how is he
purple smoke?
Because that's when you say it like that, it makes me think, frick, did I miss something? Am I the cunt that missed the frickin' reveal that he's not the Thing?
I think the fact that, especially with the mid-credit scene, it seems like he's under the control of Agnes.
Yeah.
I think he's not a real being. I think he's totally just made up by her magic.
I feel like, in my opinion, it's a mix of he's got the mind wipe thing, as everybody that's in this thing gets, but also with like the subroutine of, by the way, you're my muscle, because you're a super powerful mutant, and you're like potentially a key to fighting Wanda because I can't control Vision or the kids. And so like that's it. More like what Apocalypse does. Yeah. You know, where it's like she doesn't have to promise power, but it's like, you know, you do this thing and by the way, I control you. She's like the one person that she has legit control of. She doesn't have to do, or it's like what she did to Herb, you know, where she like, we saw her like frick with him. It's like that, but you know, she picked a power player.
Could be. And finally, it says, love the show. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you, Igor, so much for writing in there. It really means the world to us that you guys appreciate the show. We're putting a lot of effort into this.
I do want to say there are a couple comments in here that aren't like theories, but there's things like, I'm new to the Discord, I'm really enjoying all the theories. And that was from, I want to make sure I say her name, MHK26. And Sam says, it's a lot of reading for us. He knows us. It is a lot of reading. I think we managed most of it.
Yes.
And just, I hope we covered it. And I think we did.
Yeah,
I think we did.
Thank you guys so much for writing in. Thank you for all those kind words at the end well. Thank you for writing in with your crazy theories. Yes. I love to hear them, even though some of them I don't agree with. Some of them I think they're really cool. I love hearing them regardless, because it means that I'm not the only crazy one.
It's the most important thing that they happen here on the flagship show of the FPN.
Exactly. Which you guys should already be a subscriber of. Yeah. Which you guys should already have liked the video of. Which you guys should already have rated 5 stars on podcast services when you've pulled over to the side of the road driving your ambulance and stuff like that. Rate 5 stars on podcast services. Which, by the way, we're still working on getting it on Apple. For some reason, they're being super gay and they're like, no.
I feel like this is not our problem. This is totally Wames's issue.
This is a Wames issue.
This isn't our channel. This isn't youtube.com/convoplation. So we don't have to take the flak. Direct all of your issues towards Wames.
We're the talent.
Wames Dilford is the guy that you need to beef up. And because unlike Wames, we are... Is it there?
I think it's over here.
Wherever the chat is, we're there sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yes.
And we've been hanging out with you. Stop calling me a simp. All right?
Continue the simp.
Just because it's true doesn't mean it's not mean.
Right? Doesn't mean just because it's factually correct.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I don't have feelings.
Right.
Anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in for another episode of StreamCast. You can join us next week again for episode 8, the penultimate episode.
Yes.
And then we'll see what happens with the whole Agnes and everything like that.
We actually need to DM Tyler and find out if he's actually serious about coming on.
He really wants to be on every episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm down for it.
Pretty tough though.
But yeah, we
have kind of a time zone.
Yeah, we have already. Yes.
But I would like, and you guys can actually maybe help influence this by going to Tyler and saying like, you need to work with us, because we would have him on, and unironically he's one of our boys. Like we're part of the same family, right?
Yeah.
So maybe like every 2 or 3, like as a catch up. What did you think about this 3?
Whatever you guys want, we will try and make it happen. Try our best. Anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in for another episode. Bro, thank you for joining me for another episode. And we'll catch you guys all in the next episode. Streamcasters out.
We need a real... Okay, do you know what, boys? Before you've gone, you need to come up with our outro, because we're good at the branding getting in.
Help us make an outro.
We got the tip in, but getting it back out, tough.
No, we can't do it. Once we're in, our pull-out game is terrible. That's why I've got to do it.
Stream is out.
Stream is out.
We're going away now.
Check you later, boys.